What's up, everybody? It is another beautiful day out here on the homestead, and we are putting up more walls. If you're new to the channel, I'm Mike. My fiance Liz and I are building this giant barn-dominium. Pump the brakes for a second. We got swag so new that I don't even have it yet. Check out the link down below. Go to the website, look at the new laid-back living apparel. It's pretty sweet. There were some comments in the last video about my safety on the sides of these walls, and I appreciate everybody and their well wishes, but the reality of it is we just can't afford stuff like that. I went out and I bought this ladder, so I got the ladder for the outside. You know, it's damn near the same thing as climbing around. There were some good points. I maybe could have hoisted up the 2x4s. That was a good idea. I didn't even think of it. That was a really good idea. We do have scaffolding for the inside here, so when we're working on the inside, we do have 2 sets of scaffolding in here that are both borrowed. Yeah, it'd be nice to have all this equipment and man lifts and boom lifts and stuff like that, but the reality is sometimes you can't afford it, so you make do with what you got. Another thing I wanted to touch on is the bracing between the walls and the trusses and generally just the whole building. What Liz and I have decided, and the reason we made this decision, is when you're on top, you can't feel a wobble, but if you give the building like a good shake, you can feel it move just a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a wall right here, and this wall is going to be downstairs. It's going to be more or less just a shear wall, and it's going to run almost to the center line out here. So it'll be running right through here. And what that's going to do, this is a little more than halfway. We're going to put a downstairs bathroom down here. We're going to put a big wash tub sink down here. And maybe, just maybe, we can put a little studio once everything is said and done, so I can start making these videos a little bit better. Another thing we went out and did is we bought all this lumber to try to do, like a gusset bracing between the wall and the truss itself. I was thinking if I came down the wall 2 feet and did an inlay brace of a 1x8. So I would run the 1x8 horizontal, parallel with the top plate, and then I would run a 2x6 out of 45 up to another one that's set in the trusses. What that would do is kind of be like an exposed bracing, because you would have to finish the wall and the ceiling around that brace. So I don't really know what that would look like, and I don't know if that would do a whole bunch. So let me know down in the comments what you think about that sideways bracing that I just explained. But that shear wall I talked about right here, that's what we're doing this morning while we wait for the roof to dry. All right, so what I'm going for with the shear wall, I think it's called a shear wall. It's adding shear strength, so I'm gonna call it that for now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take away my 3 inches for my bottom plate and my top plate. I'm only gonna do a single top plate because I feel that this doesn't need a double top plate. I'm gonna do this inlay bracing in it also on one side, if not both sides. So it's gonna add quite a bit, I think. I'm not sure what I said when I was laying this out, but I wanted to mention we're gonna have an overhead ceiling height of 7'2.5". I don't know if I said 7'2" or 7'2.5". And the reason for that is I want to have a floor height of the second story at 8 foot. And that'll put my 2x10 floor joist right at 8 foot minus the OSB. The OSB will add another 3/4 of an inch. But we should be good because we got pretty tall ceilings in there. $209.25. Holy shit, that was close. Oh, let's see. Like, let's do it. Should have got a screw gun. If I can pull this one off. In typical fashion, the camera died again. But let's climb up there. I got the roof, I would say 95% done. I have about 15 cuts to cut into it. And these are the cuts I'm talking about. I'll cut these short guys back at that third truss so I can run them out and they'll be somewhat supported. All right, everybody, we had a pretty productive day. We got all the cuts on the roof buttoned up. We got, let's see, all the strip sheathing buttoned up. Any little odds and ends that needed to be cut or filled in, all those are done. And we made some pretty good progress. Let me show you something. So as you can see, we're finally making some real progress towards getting this thing dried in. It's exciting. We got some weather coming in about a day and a half, so I have tomorrow to try to get a lot of wrap on this thing. I would love to be able to wrap the roof and get this thing totally dried in. We'll see. If you haven't already, please smash that like button down below. Hit subscribe. That'll give you some notifications if we have videos coming out. Putting up metal soon, so we're gonna have that going on. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.